Namaste children, welcome to my channel. Today we are learning the forms of power sharing, that is power sharing part 3. In modern democracies, power sharing arrangements are taking place in different forms. So we are learning different forms of power sharing, or the question can come like this way, that is how the power sharing take place in, or how power sharing takes place in modern democracy. In modern democracy, how the power sharing takes place. So we are learning forms of power sharing. First one, how power sharing takes place among different organs of the government. Among different organs of the government. Then it takes place how among the different levels of government. How power sharing takes place in different levels of government. Then how it is among different social groups. Among different social groups. And power sharing among different political parties, different pressure groups, different interest groups, and different types of movements, like that. So the entire 2 pages, except the first page, we can write this way columns, so it will be easier for you. So first one, how power sharing among different organs of the government. So you know the organs of the government: legislature, executive, and judiciary. These are the 3 organs of government. What is the importance of legislature? In legislature, laws are made through different processes, a continuous process we needed, where the laws are made in the legislature, and the laws are implemented by executive, and if there is any dispute, that is corrected by the judiciary. So there are 3 organs of government: legislature, executive, judiciary. It is also known as horizontal distribution of power sharing. Horizontal distribution of powers, or horizontal distribution of power sharing, and it allows different organs of government placed at the same level. So different organs of government are placed at the same level. So when you draw like this way, same level, legislature, executive, and judiciary. So the different organs of governments are placed at the same level to exercise its powers, to exercise their different powers, or to exercise its powers means legislature has to exercise its power, executive has to exercise its power, like that. So they are enjoying same level of power. And another one is that there are separation of powers. Separation of powers. You have learned in 8th standard independent judiciary. Independent judiciary means judiciary is not influenced by legislature and executive. That is the main thing. Here it is separation of powers. None of the organs can exercise unlimited power. None of the organization can exercise unlimited power. That is one. What is the powers exercised by legislature? It is influenced by, it is checked by executive, or executive power is checked by judiciary. Even though the executive come under the legislature, even then you can say that is known as checks and balance that we are coming to. So each organ checks the others. Each organ checks the others. So balance of power among the institutions, and ministers are responsible to. So now ministers are responsible to the parliament or the legislature. What is parliament? Parliament is the legislature of the central government. They are at the center in Delhi. That legislature we call it as parliament, which is having 2 houses. That is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And in Kerala we are having only 1 house. But some other states, you know, that it is also having 2 houses. So parliament and state level. So each organ checks the others. Balance of power among institutions, and ministers are responsible for the parliament or state assemblies. So judges, for example, it is given. Anyway, examples are very important. See, if they ask the example, you can write that example. That is, judges are appointed by executive. But after all, you can see that the executive can be controlled by the judges, and the legislature also can be controlled by the judges. So there we call it as checks and balances. So this way you write, it will be easier for you. Then coming to the second one, how the power is shared among the different levels of government. Different levels of government. Ours is a form of government, federal form of government. So a general government is there for the entire country. We are having a central government which is for the entire country, and we are having the state governments. That state governments, we call it here, the government, the powers are distributed among the provinces or regions, provincial government or regional government. Some other countries we call it as regional governments or the provincial government, but in India we call it as a state government. So, a general government for the entire country, that is central government or union government we are having for the entire country, and that we also call it as a federal government. Then we are having state governments, that is governments at the provincial level or regional level, we call it as a state government. So, understood, state government we are having. Then central or the union government we are having, that is central or union government for the entire country, and provincial regional government we call it in India, that is state governments. Then constitution clearly lays down the powers of the different levels of government. Yes, constitution clearly lays the powers of different levels of government. What are the powers for the central government? What are the powers for the state government? That is clearly mentioned. That is in the second chapter we will learn about the federalism, how federalism practiced in India. There we can see the central list, state list and concurrent list, how the powers are distributed among different levels of government. So it is clearly mentioned, constitution clearly lays, as in the constitution it is written, it is a law, it is a rule, it is a principle, and so constitution clearly lays the powers at different levels of government. That we call it as federal division of power, federal division of power we call it. And how the federal division of power, here we have seen a central government for the entire country, that is the first level, and yes, central government is there for the first level. Then comes to the state level, that is the state level power. Then again the state power is again divided among, if it is rural area, that is panchayats, and if it is urban area, that is municipalities. And more towns, you know that, or more urban the cities, that we call it as a municipal corporation. Bigger cities we call it as municipal corporation, and panchayats, you know, that is referred to the rural, that is rural area. So rural area, in rural area, in your textbook that much only they have written, that is a municipality and panchayats. Yes, so again that is different levels. Here we have seen the same level power we have seen. Here, you know, central government powers have been divided among the state government. Again, the state government, the powers have been divided among the municipality or the panchayats. Earlier, the panchayats and municipality do not, they didn't have the revenue. Now you know that they are having the revenue also. They have the responsibilities, they have the duties also. So, municipality and panchayat, we know that there is municipal corporation. More in detail we will learn later on regarding the decentralization. That chapter, next chapter we will learn more about it. And so we can see higher to the lower level, higher to the lower level, that means vertical power sharing. Yes, here we can see this is a vertical power sharing. Central government to state government to municipalities and panchayats, that we call it as a vertical power sharing. These are the learning points. Then coming to the third one, that is power sharing among different social groups. Power sharing among different social groups. And last class I told you that regarding the social groups, maybe based on the languages, maybe based on the religions, or maybe based on the regions, etc. So different social groups are there, religious based or linguistic based groups are there. And in Belgium we have seen a community government, whether it is ruled by the Brussels or in Belgium, the different community formed one community government we have formed in the accommodation of Belgium. So that way example is given, the community government, and there are constitutional legal arrangements here. Constitutional and legal arrangements are there in the federal form of government. Here in India, we know that for the socially weaker sections and women, some considerations have been given. So different social groups are there. We are giving power to them. Suppose a woman is standing for in the election. Suppose there is no possibility to get elected. You know that some wards are reserved for women only. Or socially weaker people also, you know that they can contest and get elected. So the reservations, that we call it reserve constituency. In the 9th standard you have studied reservation, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, etc. A caste which is belonging to a particular list, once upon a time they were oppressed and exploited. So that caste or the tribal people who come under the list, that is scheduled tribes. So like that, so reserved constituencies are there, and constituent, that is in the parliament and assemblies election. Parliament for the central level and assemblies at the state level. So I hope you understood how the power is distributed among the different organs of government, different levels of government, and different social groups. And coming to the last point, power sharing among. Yes, you will study the one chapter, political parties. There you will come across different political parties at the central level and at the state level. That is national parties and the regional parties. Then the pressure groups. Pressure groups are those groups, they do not directly come to contest in election, but they will control the power of the government. They will influence the government authorities, and they want to ensure that the whatever their interest they want to put into practice. That we call it as pressure groups. These pressure groups are also having not another name. It is having some branches like interest groups. Interest groups, that is traders, businessmen, industrialists, farmers, industry workers, etc. having some interest. Yes, what is the interest of industrialist? The entrepreneurs may not be the interest of the industrial workers. What the workers needed? Workers needed more wages, less working schedule, working time, like that. And so you know that it may be contrasting. And so the traders, businessmen, industrialists, farmers, industry workers are having, that is example of interest group. Even though I wrote it in interest group in your textbook, only these political parties, pressure groups and movements have been written. The interest group are also there, and this chapter has been deleted from your syllabus. That is earlier itself, not this year, earlier itself, this portion has been deleted. That is in the popular struggle, that chapter it comes. So this is that. So, and political parties referred to different ideologies we are having, and ideologies, that is what is the ideology of the Socialist Party, what is the ideology of the Capitalist Party, capitalism, what is ideology, or the political party which is believed in capitalism, the political party which is believed in socialism, the political party which is believed in mixed economy. The ideologies may be different. So they are having different ideologies and they belong to different social groups. So in elections, sometimes we see that 2 or more political parties will come together and form a coalition. And if they got elected, they will form a coalition government, and the coalition government will share the power. Yes, there they will decide. Yes, we came together, different political parties, party A, party B, party C. If they stand alone, they cannot win the majority votes. So they will come together and they will contest an election, and after they got elected, after getting elected, you know that they will form the government. When they form the government, powers may be shared. Yes, which are the how many cabinet ministries, you know, different departments, different portfolios have been distributed among different people according to the votes they obtained. Maybe most often how many seats they got. Different political parties, how many seats they got, how many people got elected, like that. So this is the power sharing among different political parties, pressure groups, interest groups, and movements. Then coming once more, movements. What is movements? Movements are, most often it is based on some general movements are there, some specific movements are there. Suppose we say that regarding some women's movement, or regarding the Silent Valley is a movement, or regarding the polluted, that is people used to come together and they will take voice against some present issues. Among the different present issues, maybe economic, maybe social, against that particular issue, people will come together and will raise voice against that. Yes, and when they take voice against that to solve that issue, there comes some types of movements. I think in Kerala we needed a movement which is based on the Mullaperiyar, and it is a threatening thing in front of us. So we can see that if the movement comes to solve the problem of Mullaperiyar, that is there is a frightening aspect regarding the breaking of the Mullaperiyar dam. So if the people come together, we can see that there is a movement, and like that Narmada Bachao, and like the different movements were there. The Plachimada there were there. Then regarding some industry against certain industries, people came together, and we had the history of different movements in India. So that is so their powers have been divided among this. So totally you understood how powers have been divided among different organs, among different levels of group, among different social groups, and among different political groups, different pressure groups, different interest groups and movements. So totally we have learned the forms of power sharing. How in democratic country powers have been arranged. Yes, then one more paragraph is there before this one, that I will take the last part. I will go through the page wise. That time I will give you the explanation regarding one paragraph what I left just before this topic, forms of power sharing. And that comes under the forms of power sharing, first paragraph. So one more part will be there regarding forms of power sharing. Thank you children, learn in a proper way. As I am so happy that you're continuously asking me to put the videos, as it is beneficial for you. Yes, listen the class also, listen properly to your teachers and go through that. The teachers are also having a hectic period now because of the online classes. It is not so easier in a virtual class to take a virtual class. Thank you children.